Hi, and welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Ali Navarro, nutrition chef with Greener Planet, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make something nice and colorful, and that is pan-fried veggies. So stay tuned and learn how to make this. Our first ingredient will be 1 zucchini. Since I wanted to add a variety of colors to our dish today, I want to start off with our green food. So our zucchini is green, and green foods are known to be good for your bones and your teeth. Another great benefit about zucchinis is they provide vitamin C, so it's going to be good for your immune system, vitamin B6, which is really good for brain development, and antioxidants. And a little fun fact about our zucchini is that whenever you find a zucchini in your garden and you'll see little flowers growing on the stems, those are edible too, so that's really cool. So go ahead and try the little flower from the stem next time you see one growing in your garden. So I'm gonna prep my zucchini. I'm gonna be spiralizing it today. So I have my little spiralizer here. If you do not have a spiralizer, that is okay. You can go ahead and grab a knife and just cut this, and I will show you how you can do that. So you could go ahead and just cut it in half, or if you want smaller pieces, cut that half into another half. You'll have 4 little pieces. I'm going to show you how I spiralize it. I have a little bowl to toss everything into here. I'm going to go ahead, cut this down the middle, and I'll go ahead and start spiralizing. You may notice our noodles are getting very long, so make sure you break them when you are spiralizing them so they could get smaller. Still have a little bit here to go, so I can go ahead and just put this back, start twisting again. Since my spiralizer stopped right here, I know all of my zucchini did not get spiralized. I'm gonna go ahead and just start chopping the rest of it up. For this half, I want to make a different shape, so I'm gonna go ahead and just chop this. Now that we have our zucchini prepared, let's move on to our next ingredient. Our next ingredient will be 1 yellow bell pepper. Our yellow foods are really good for our eyesight and helps us from catching colds. Now, our bell pepper is a great source of vitamin C, once again, good for our immune system, and vitamin A, good for your eyesight. If you didn't know, bell peppers are considered a fruit. So for our yellow bell pepper, I'm going to be prepping it by slicing it into smaller strips. So I just want to discard our seeds from inside. Take that out, set it aside. And if you have a compost bin, you can go ahead and toss that in there. And once again with the top, you can take off the stem, and we want to use the top part as well. We don't want to throw that away. Put more strips here. Toss these in here. I noticed I got a really small bowl, so I went ahead and grabbed a larger bowl so I can start tossing everything in here. Set that aside. So I'm starting to cut these into strips, and I'm going to do that with the remaining of my bell pepper. And if you didn't know, bell peppers are the sweet peppers, so they're not spicy at all. And they're really good with hummus too, if you haven't tried that. Now that I cut our bell peppers, let's move on to our next ingredient. Our third ingredient will be 1 red bell pepper. Our next color is red. Our red foods are really going to be good for our heart, keep us nice and healthy, and once again, it's considered a fruit just like our yellow, and since it is red, it doesn't mean that it's spicy, it's actually really sweet as well. The process is the same thing as the yellow bell pepper, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut this up. Now that we cut our red bell pepper, let's move on to our next ingredient. Our fourth ingredient will be 1 cup of grape tomatoes. Our tomatoes, they fall under our red food category, so they're going to be really good for our heart, keep it nice and healthy. Also contains vitamin C, folate, which is needed for your body to make DNA. I already went ahead and prepped my tomatoes here, but I will show you how I just did it. I just cut them in half. This is up to you if you want to keep them whole or cut them in half. I just did that. And we're about done prepping all of our ingredients. So we will go ahead and move on to the heating part of this. So I turned my stove onto medium heat, and the first thing I want to do on our pan is drizzle a little bit of olive oil. Once I've done that, I can go ahead and grab my bowl of my prepped ingredients and just set them in there. And go ahead and just start mixing them around. And once you mix these around, you could go ahead and just let it sit for a couple of minutes until your vegetables get soft. Now that we have our veggies cooking in the back, I want to go ahead and take the time to create our dressing for it. So right here, we're going to be making a balsamic dressing. I'm going to go ahead with our balsamic vinegar first. And we're going to use 2 tablespoons of this. So there's 1 and 2. If you do not have a mason jar, that is totally fine. I just use it so you can see everything I'm putting into mine. Next ingredient, 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So once again, 1 and 2. Go ahead and put your lid back on. And you can see it's not quite a lot. That's fine. And then our seasonings, we'll be using garlic salt and paprika. We'll be doing half a teaspoon of garlic salt and half a teaspoon of paprika. If you like a lot of dressing in yours, go ahead and add as much as you would like. I'm just doing this amount for my dish. There we go. And the last ingredient, I'll be using honey to kind of combine all of our flavors together. So this one's in a jar. Let's see. Get it out. Slowly gonna drizzle out. Let's see how long this takes. Oh, there it goes. Gonna fill this up. It's 1 tablespoon. And if you like your sauce very sweet, go ahead and add more honey. But I think 1 tablespoon will be just fine. Go ahead and just... Alright, and now that we have all of our ingredients in there, go ahead and put our lid on our jar. Just kind of shake this. It's not too much, but I just want to shake it up. Nice and easy. And so you can add this over your veggies once they soften up to get the flavoring. And there's our sauce. Our last ingredient into our recipe will be 1 cup of quinoa. Our quinoa is going to be a good source of protein, and since it is a good source of protein, it's considered a complete protein because it contains all 9 essential amino acids. It's also going to be a good source of fiber, so it's going to aid in our digestive tract and just keep it nice and healthy. And also a good source of iron, so it's going to keep our red blood cells in our body healthy as well. So we'll add this onto our pan once our vegetables are nice and soft. I already pre-cooked mine, so that's why I'm just adding it to the heat. And here we have our pan-fried veggies. I hope you enjoyed watching me create this colorful dish, and it encourages you to make something nice and colorful and healthy for your dish. Now that you watched me create this, I challenge you to do the same. But don't forget, be creative, tag us on social media, and I'll see you next time.